You don't feel like you are complete. So it's more about yourself. What do you think? If you have joy to talk with people and to have this connection, to the act of talking, to it's more about the results about that. Like here, we are talking now, and I really have like all the time like inputs and for this kind of talkings. But maybe someone is just talking like randomly and like, oh, I finished the immersion, it's nothing. So it's about propose too, propose motivation for life. And maybe if you have a sickness, mental sickness, you cannot feel anything anymore. So I think it's about that.
Good point, Florian. What about you, Elias? What do you think? What is your opinion?
I think in general, people feel lonely independent of the connections, independent of the physical connections. If, for example, even in the church, I'm a person very shy. I'm not the guy that's with a lot of friends. I have just a few friends. Some people say it's good having few friends, but real friends. But independent of this, being among of people not means we are like I say, it's not it doesn't mean my heart is fulfilled with love, with friendship, with companionship. I think people are lonely because people are lonely, independent of digital connection, independent of technology. I think nowadays people are afraid of being friends of the other people for many reasons. Just not too along myself too much, but for example, sometimes I'm afraid on street. I'm afraid to do good things for other people because I'm afraid of being judged. I'm afraid of being I don't know someone think I try to do bad thing with another people. For example, yesterday I was in a bus and there is a bag in that place that where we put bags in on top. The bag is almost falling, and I was thinking, I have to to tell to the person or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? I don't. Just cause some there's a woman and maybe a woman think maybe that guy is try to do is try something with me. Understand? Then I'm afraid of doing good things for other people. Because of this, people around me so maybe feel lonely and may sometimes I feel lonely too. There are a lot of other reasons, but it's for me it's the main reason.
Yeah, it's a good point you brought. It seems like we are more individualistic after the pandemic, in my opinion, and also because of this new generation, also because of the high use of technology, maybe, and the increase of crime, we became more suspicious, we became more scared.
Yes, understand.
I understand what you're talking about. I also feel the
Someone
same.
accused me for something.
Yes, the other day there was a guy walking his dog in my street, and I could see his boné from my portão, my gate. And I was like, why is this guy surrounding my house and watching me and watching my house? And I came close, very mad, like almost trying to tirar satisfação with him. And I was like, hi, good afternoon. And it was like, oh, hi, I am walking my dog and he's friends with your dog and they smell each other over the gate. I'm sorry. And I was like, oh no, I am sorry. I thought you were just looking at me and how can I say that? De olho, né? Investigando.
Stalking, I think. Like,
Thank
yes.
you. So I myself, I am very suspicious all the time. It's a bad feeling. Luis, what about you?
Guys, we are on the same page. I totally agree about Luren, Elias, and Sarah said before. And yesterday, no, last week I had this close situation like Sarah. A guy was trying to advise me that the door of my car was open, and I think that he was trying to fight me, you know. And because I was listening music in my car, it was a very sad situation because I think that nowadays everyone is hurted. Everyone is hurt in some level. And yes, I do believe that technology affects our relationships because nowadays we don't need to go to a physical place to order a food, for instance. We don't need to go to a bank. We don't have more curious, you know. And I think that we are losing uh, our naturality to talk with someone, you know. For instance, here in Talking Talk, we're talking with real people who are trying to improve their English, you know. So everyone has a struggle here. So we are in the position that we are trying to better ourselves. And I think that digital connection, digital world is not a good option for our lives, you know, for our life purpose. Because I think that a hug when you in someone that you love is much more special than talk with a popular guy on the Instagram, for instance, you know, something like that
For
about
sure,
reality.
for sure. I understand. And the way you answered this question is a good hook to the second question. How has social media changed the way we understand companionship? Because you gave the example, Luis, of when you go to the banks and we have to face queues to pay some bill. And even though this is an uncomfortable situation, we learn from this uncomfortable situation. We learn how to be patient, we learn how to deal with other people. And nowadays, we don't learn anymore do jeito difícil, from the hard way, you know? We always have the easy way to learn. Lurian, what do you think about this? How has social media changed the way we understand companionship?
Yes. Once we talk about that, when people say that you need to understand about our real life and the life in social media, online, you know. And I try to correct, but not because you can agree or disagree. But I think online we can have a real life too. You just need to balance these, you know. Like for example, it's really nice when you have personal contact with someone to have this kind of knowledge, you know, like learn something from it, you know, how to deal like with someone like physical, like because we are in a screen, it's not 3D, you know, it's like I'm watching like you like in a kind of video TV, and it's like that. If I touch my cell phone, it's like it's just a straight screen. So and this kind of relation, I think it's online. The most of time they are limited. I think no, because of what you can talk. No, like sometimes like we are in YouTube right now, so for sure I cannot share personal data. No, like it's. I think we have a lot of. We say camadas in Portuguese. I think maybe slices. I don't know, but we have a lot
Layers.
of. And we can have a online life. I think it's a real life to in social medias like in applications like right now. But I think you need to balance, like to have other kind of experience. And you can understand that a physical contact is something like warm too, like a hug, like a kiss, like this kind of thing. So just to find a balance.
Yes, for sure. And I already saw influencers that post about real life too. So there are people that is having hard time with social network, and they start going the other way, posting the real life, posting photos without filters, stuff like that. Finding the balance. Elias, what is your opinion?
First, I agree with you, Lauren, because the digital life is also real life. For example, I work for a company and I work online in remote way. I have my tasks, I have my duties. Then it's also real life. And I think social media and digital life may be turning companionship and friendship based on numbers and status based on I don't know, but most of times in the past, for example, me and my friends uh, play until late and I'm not a guy that I'm not like a devil guy, but for some guys of my past, of my childhood, uh, guys that fight each other and defend each other from another guys, this kind of things. Online, I think it's happened uh, happened the same, but in different ways. It's not fighting physically, but nowadays we call haters. Then I think I don't know, maybe um, social media turn the connections, turn the emotions like I have to agree or disagree with my friend online with posts and like or dislike. I think that's it.
For sure, for sure. I agree with you. What do you think, Luis?
Well, guys, I think the talk about social media is a question of a point of view. For instance, my point of view is very different from a teenager from today. Is very different from my mother, you know. So, well, balance is the key. Ao, todos nós concordamos com isso. And but I think that a lot of people don't have uh, not a lot of people need to be aware on how to use and how to your relationship with social media because a lot of people started to romanticize a style of life that is not her life, no, his life, their lives, and I think that it's a challenge because if you think social media is not so old in our society, we will see a lot of difference. So I think that we cannot tell if it's good or not. For me, it's not a good thing because because I'm 45 years old, I grew up in a world before internet, and now I'm dealing with this. And but personally, I don't like this sentimento de manada. No, I don't like this, but I admire a lot of things. I have my Instagram. I follow a lot of people with old car, traveling, motorcycles, accidents, jokes, and it's a very personal answer. But I think that changed a lot because people sometimes can freaking out about social media.
Excellent point. Uh, you talked about how people are not prepared to deal with this part of life, this frame of life, recorte, especially teenagers, because I think they've never lived the normal life. So they are just seeing these fake lives and they don't know what is real and what is not. I personally have a problem with social network. I romanticize, I don't know if that's the word, romanticize a lot the other people's lives. That is why I needed to stop because I was losing perspective of my own life. Yeah, and I cannot. I came back to Instagram like 3 times and drop out again, and I cannot deal with this. It's not easy for me like it is with my boyfriend because he just sees Instagram like you, Luis. He just looks at motorcycles and jokes and cars. I cannot do that, unfortunately.
Yes, for instance, Instagram is perfect for who loves travel, you know. For me, it's a open window for travelers, for new cultures, you know, but just for it, because in Brazil, for instance, most of people use social media to self-ed, you know, just for promoting itself, these kind of things. No?
Yes, yes, for sure. Guys, question number 3. Do you believe independence and loneliness are sometimes confused? Lurian.
The question number 3. I think people need to understand that sometimes you can, like, I think I talk a little about that in the first question, because when you are independent, which means that you can do whatever you want. No, you can do for yourself. You don't depend of anyone, and this is really good, and it's why I like about my life. You know, I really like my independence. But also, I really like to do things alone. Like I like to go to the cinema. I like to have my time. I don't mind about that. And I have some friends. They said, "How you can do this? How you can just be alone? Like what? Why not? You know, I do what I want." So I think when you have this personality, maybe that you don't need anyone. Maybe, oh, this person is so lonely. Like she's totally alone all the time, but it's in your mind what you believe, you know, like it is not because I don't have a physical person with me that I'm alone. So I can enjoy my own company. I can enjoy when I am with someone. It's just because in my mind I don't see that I need to have someone to be happy. Of course, Lurian, I prefer to have someone, but I don't have problems to do things alone. So this is my point.
Nice, nice. What about you, Elias?
Yes, I agree with you, Lurian. I prefer to have someone, but I don't have problems. For example, sometimes I go to the cinema with my friends, but not friends like another girl alone, not not like that. But with, for example, there's at the church. There are some friends that sometimes we go to the cinema or to the restaurant, to pizza store, and we sometimes we go together. It's not a problem. And sometimes, of course, when someone invites me, I analyze. Okay, what is the date? The date is my wife's birthday. My wife is near. Of course not. Of course, I won't go. But okay, there is nothing special. And if I want to, I ask my wife, let's go to that place, to the cinema. Let's go uh, to a barbecue, thing like that. If my wife don't want to go, it's not a problem. I will go alone. But usually I go with my family, with my sister, my brother-in-law. I have some sister and some brother-in-law. Then with them, with my family, or some friends at the church. There is a long time that I do nothing alone. Totally alone. Nothing like mean like cinema, restaurant, thing like that. But if it's necessary, yes, I will. It's not a problem. But about this question, yes, I think some people confuse loneliness and independency. I don't know. I think a lonely person just if this person wants have someone and don't have it. But some people don't want no one. It's lonely. I don't know. I think not.
It depends on what the person thinks, like Lurian said.
Yes.
Luis, what is your opinion on this?
Guys, I totally agree with you, and I believe that loneliness is very different, the meaning the meaning of loneliness. For instance, I spent all my life going to a concert, to the cinema, to the theater, alone with my friends, but alone because I love to go there. And it's about how rich is your life inside. It's not about the stories, how inside you, how you deal with yourself. For instance, I love movies, so I can't wait for a friend to go to the cinema. I can't go alone. For instance, I like to ride my motorcycle alone because there's a lot of day that I want to speed up, but there's a lot of day that I want to slow down. But I love to be alone sometimes because it's an everyday noise, Every day you talk a lot of people, um, job, talk and talk. And sometimes you need to be alone, and we don't need to be fear of the loneliness. If you are uh, honest with yourself, I think, if you love reading, music, art in general, your life will be very different because I have a, a, a feeling that everyone wants to be surrounded by a lot of people just for promote yourself, and silence sometimes is very important. Like Dostoevsky in Memórias do Subsolo, something like that.
I don't know, but I believe you that Dostoevsky said that.
Yeah,
Uh,
By the way, in my opinion, everyone that wants to start a relationship needs to be good with yourselves. Because if I may try to start a relationship to find happiness, maybe I will break the order. Understand?
for sure.
and you attract people
Yes,
very confused as well. When
yes.
you are not okay with yourself, if you don't know yourself, you will choose someone. Sometimes very complicated. Good
Good
point, Elia.
insight, guy. Yes, good point. I had a friend in college that she could not stand to have lunch by herself in the college university at Rio. And she would wait for anyone to show up and be free so she can have lunch with this person. And for her, it was a terror to have lunch by herself. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best time of my days to have lunch by myself and to not have to talk while I eat. So it depends on the person, of course. Maybe she was raised with with a lot of sisters and she didn't learn how to be alone. And I am an only child, so I love to be alone. I'm comfortable with the loneliness.
Yes, and just to add something, guys, I had an experience in my high school. It was the same. We were five woman friends, like girls friends, and just one of us had a boyfriend at that time. And I remember she just cut the friendship with us because all the time we are like getting together, like playing, doing something, going to the mall like this. And she said, "Oh, I will not go out with you girls because I cannot give reason for my boyfriend go out with his friends too. And I was just, I think I was 15 years old, 16, and I promised myself that I would never be like that. She said she regrets a lot nowadays about this but anyway, she married with him. She's but I don't know, like for me it was idea that, oh my, no, I don't want to be like that. I want to have my independence. I want to be free to do what I want. I don't want to, I will not do this for him not doing too. So
In this case, it's like she sold her independence just not to be lonely. It seems like, I don't know her, but we know that people do this. We know people in our lives that have this kind of relationship. Question number 4, guys. What role does vulnerability play in forming deeper bonds today? Elias.
Mm,
I don't know, cause if someone is vulnerable, maybe we don't this person don't set limits, and it's very hard to maybe put limits, and it's very hard to say no. I think that's it. It's about it in the and if a person is very I forget the word carente. Maybe
Carente is needy.
yes, and it's difficult to say no. People feel rejected. My gosh, I forget to say something on fire just a second, but that's it. It's about but I have to go just a
That's
second. I
okay.
just continue.
Okay, Ludian, what about you? What is your opinion about vulnerability?
I think this is the reason that maybe it's hard to do connections because you don't want maybe these connections broke, and maybe you try to avoid. I'm just seeing this point. You try to avoid to have connections because you don't want to have a sad moment, you know. I don't know. I think in my case, I prefer to always believe that this is a good way to connect with people. Try and try and try, but also it's you need to be open for this, and of course, something bad can happen. So you are exposed. You expose yourself. Maybe you, if you are feeling like really good, you start to open more, and after you can have a deception about this, like something. So in my opinion, this is a part of the everything, but I know it's hard to handle with, and you can close yourself for the relations because you don't believe more and you don't want to have this vulnerability. And it's not something that we can guarantee we will always be happy or you always be good, like it's you need to take some risks, and with risks your vulnerability is more high, I think.
Yes, for sure. What about you, Luis?
Very hard question to answer. I don't know how to answer properly, and I think that's like I said in the beginning of the immersion. I think that everyone is very hurt today. Everyone's is has a lot of vulnerability today, and I think that we don't have more safe spaces, to create relationships and our friendship because everyone looks so liquid, Uh, it's very different, at least at my perception, but I don't know how to answer this question.
Is a hard question. In my point of view, vulnerability is how can I say, it's a must have in my friendships, but I need to have on the other side of the friendship a person that doesn't judge me, so I can be vulnerable, I can open myself. Because if I have someone that is always judging, I cannot be friends with this person because I have to tell my secrets. I have to tell my, I don't know, I have to tell my, how can I say, the opposite of qualities, my, you guys understand, meus pontos fracos, my weakness.
Yes, yes, and today show your weakness is a very strange situation because everyone nowadays is so perfect,
Yes,
If the everyone has your settings like this is a real man, this is a real woman, and this sucks a lot, It's very, very sad.
for
And
sure.
everyone has answer for everything, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but there is a point about to show weakness. Weaknesses cause I think we don't have to show our weaknesses to our enemy. A friend that is not a person that is not a friend that will not is not reliable. Cause I don't know in work environment, for example, there are persons there are people that we think it's good, but they aren't. Then I have a point about show weaknesses. Of course, we are not superheroes, but I think few people deserve see our weakness, see they hear us. Few people. I think I don't know, from 10 people, just your people.
For sure. I agree with you, Elias. It's not everybody that deserves us to be vulnerable with them. Question number 5, guys. Can loneliness be beneficial for self-discovery? Why or why not? Eu não sei se todo mundo respondeu a pergunta anterior. I think yes. Okay. Lurian, please start with this one.
I think yes, because of I don't know, guys. Like when you do a big trip, like you can have a trip with a boyfriend, like husband or wife, like that. You can have a group one, and as much people you have, it's really hard to do everything for everyone. So I used to say when I was doing my trips alone, I could do what I want, I could discover like that. I want to read now, so let's read. I want to take a coffee in the coffee shops. Let's to do that, and you can understand more about things you like, about the way you feel doing this, and you can test more. In my opinion, like you don't need to give a what sorry shit about for anyone, you just want to do because it's your life. If you are like independent person, it's better because you can do whatever you want. And I think it's in these moments that you understand more about us, about our self-esteem, about how I can who I am in this environment, who I am for the people that I care about, my loved ones. So yes, if for you know what you want, I think it's really nice if you just ask yourself, like it's nice when you can count with other opinion, like it's really nice, but you need to ask yourself what you want to and try more and more and more.
For sure. Good point of view. And in the example you said about having a trip alone, it forces you to live situations that you've never had to live before, or when you are with someone. So it shows you a different side of you. I just told my boss the other day she was gonna travel alone to Jericoacoara because she just ended her marriage, and I was like, the best thing to do, the best way to travel, in my opinion, is to travel alone because you put yourself in different situations. It's very good. Luis, what is your opinion about this?
Yes, I totally agree that loneliness can be beneficial for everyone because when you're alone with yourself in a bad situation, in good situations, loneliness can highlight the best and the worst of yourself, and you can fix the bad things, that you are carrying with yourself, and I think the possibilities of making of be alone for a short time or in your life is very beneficial for yourself. So yes, I think you need we need from times to times make analysis about our lives, about our goals, about what is working, what's not work, what we are faking, and change this for a real situation. I think that loneliness is a great opportunity for highlight these feelings inside us.
Nice, Luis. What about you, Elias?
I totally agree with Luis. I think sometimes we need time to think about ourselves, uh, about working on our weaknesses, working on about our feelings, about what things that we wants in life. Because when we are with someone, sometimes we have a path, we have a way in life. But if when we have some other people, maybe these people influence us, influence our path. Then sometimes we go to another direction. It's not a kind of fault, but sometimes we think different. We try different things, we experience different things in life, and not always it's 100% good for us. Then I think learning is good for self discovery, and we can understand better ourselves. I totally agree. But I have a question for you, Luis. I totally agree, okay. But what kind of how can we balance, for example, about self-discovery and self-improvement? Because sometimes I have some ideas, but my ideas can be bad ideas. And if I don't have any someone to help me, maybe it's worse for me. What do you think about it?
Well, let's start. In beginning of my life, not the beginning, for instance, when I started to love movies. I had a group of friends that could not understand that that I loved movies, and I really wanted to go to the cinema, for instance. And the guys that didn't like movies, they love sports, for instance. We start. I realized that I could not uh, have have their support, and I started to find people that was in the same way that I wanted, and it starts in this situation. But at least for me, happening that I I need to deal with these struggles alone. Uh, and at least for me, the most of the important change in my life I discovered by myself. So I try to try I try my best. I don't have a exact answer for this because it's a construction of a lifetime. So, and I always try to think about my goals, for instance. For instance, I wanna go to movie to the countryside of Rio de Janeiro. Is because I need to change it. Something not right here right now. What's this?
Yes, yes, I agree with you. I think that's is it.
Nice, guys. Thank you, Elias, for asking the question. Let's go to. Did everybody answer? Yes, right? Sorry, my memory is bad today. Let's go to question number 6. How do cultural expectations affect the way people talk about loneliness? Lurian.
I I think what I know about Brazil and other cultures is because we are totally a open and warm country. And I think we have these needs to have someone and to hug, even touch, And it's not like that in other cultures. That we call like some countries like they are really cold, and sometimes we are weird to them, and they are weird for us. So you need to adjust a lot this expectation about when you are in another culture, like for not frustrate, and to understand it's just another way to live. It's not wrong or right. It's just another way. When I am traveling and I know that is not my place to do something, I try to avoid to touch people because I'm really warm sometimes, even here in Brazil. For the way the person is, I try sometimes to understand, to read, oh, this is a person that I can ask a hug or not, because it's about personality, about culture. So maybe you are raised to just be more lonely all the time, enjoy your presence, and that's it. So I think here in Brazil we have this more about to be together and warm and touch a lot. The carnival country, so it's about that, in my opinion.
For sure, I agree. It seems like loneliness is compared with how can I say that? With sadness. I think people associate that a lot. My mom told me that she worries about me because I stay at home by myself every day because I work from home. And I'm like, Mom, I love to be alone. I don't want to go socialize all the time. But she comes from a big family, also me, but I learned how to be alone, and she needs to be all the time with someone. So she feels like I am sad, I think Brazil has this mentality of my mother. Elias, what do you think?
Yes, I agree with you. I'm the same. I think actually we that work with technology, we are a little sad, not about being among of people, but about bugs in production. But beside that, I totally agree with you. I think lonely is not doesn't mean sadness. I think as a very shy person, I need my lonely times. I don't know if I can imagine myself uh, spending a whole day with a lot of people, with a lot of talking, a lot of people touching me, for example. Understand? That's why now I love work from home. And yes, I think society in general, because in general we are trained to studying, start working, get married, and have a job. Then if we subtract something of this equation for society in general, there is something wrong. Like we are black sheep.
Good point. Yes, for sure. If we follow the wrong path, it's something wrong with us.
Yes.
Luis, what is your opinion on this?
Yeah, I grew up in a city that a lot of immigrants, a lot of from all parts of the world, and I was remember here the Japanese guys. They are very lonely, so they're very quiet people, and we had a lot of friends in school that came from Italy that was very open, very, very open, and was a totally mess in my city. So when we were growing up, was very, very different, everyone, because in the front of the school, some parents greeting everyone, another parents just leave the kids, was very, very, very strange situation for us. But I think that's cultural is a very important role in this, in how you deal with loneliness. So I think that's interesting. For instance, in all the Russian literature, you have a lot of examples about this. So it's very cool.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you said last. All the Russian
The Russian literature has a lot of
Oh,
examples of characters that is very lonely because about the cold weather, about the society, about the this kind of thing. So it's a good example for cultural approach.
yes. I've seen also in Instagram those reels mocking the British people because they are very cold, they are very serious people compared to Americans, for example. Guys, that's it for today. We don't have much time for one more question. Thank you for being with me. It was a pleasure.